Hi guys, I hope you're having a great day. I am back. I have a new Bible study for you guys today. We are going to be in Psalm 23, and today's Bible study is going to be in verse 1. And for those who don't know, and this is your first time seeing me, what I do is I dig into the scripture and I define the words that God highlights for me. And then I look up the imagery and give you little tidbits of information that I'm able to find, and kind of just sum everything up for you, because I know the Bible is a little difficult to understand at times. And also, for those who don't know, some time ago God spoke to me and said that in these end times that his children need to have Psalm 91 and Psalm 23 written on their hearts. So, Psalm 91, if you want to look at those are my previous posts. Today is Psalm 23, 1, and this is called My Shepherd. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Lord in Hebrew is Adonai, and that means Lord or Master. And this is also used as a substitute for the sacred divine name of Yahweh. Shepherd is Roeh, and that means my shepherd. It comes from ra'ah, meaning to feed, tend, or shepherd a flock. Ra'ah implies an intimate companionship, guidance, and protection. In ancient Hebrew culture, a shepherd was a constant presence who provided food, safety, and leadership. By saying my shepherd rather than just the shepherd, King David, who wrote the Psalms, shows God not as a distant ruler, but a hands-on protector who knows and cares for us individually. The root word ra'ah is closely linked to the Hebrew word re'ah for friend or neighbor. This implies that a shepherd is an intimate companion to the flock rather than just a taskmaster. Not in Hebrew is lo, and that means not or no. And then the way they phrased it is different. It says shall I lack, not shall I lack. And that in Hebrew is asar, and that means to lack, to be in want, or to be without. And this comes from the root word kasar, meaning to fail, decrease, or be in need. So in the imagery, it is saying that Yahweh is my shepherd, I lack nothing. God is not passive, but a continuous provider, protector, and guide. So I did a lot of digging for you guys, and I looked up the role of a shepherd in biblical times and what it was, and this is what I found. The shepherds protected mixed flocks of sheep and goats from predators and thieves. They led them by voice. They walked ahead of their sheep, and the flock followed them because they recognized their specific pitch and tone of the shepherd's voice. Shepherds could individually name their sheep, and when called, the sheep would respond. Shepherds lived outdoors day and night with their animals. At night, the flock was gathered into stone folds or natural caves. If there was no gate, the shepherd would lay his own body across the opening to block any predators. To protect his flock, the shepherd used a rod, staff, and a sling. The rod, or shevet, was a short, heavy club, and it was 2 to 3 foot long with a knob at the end. It wasn't only for protection. Shepherds also used it to count the sheep. This was also known as passing under the rod. Passing under the rod meant that the sheep belonged to the master. And you can find a verse for that in Ezekiel 20:37. The staff, or mishena, was an extension of the shepherd's hand. It represented comfort, support, and relationship. This was a long, slender pole, 6 foot tall or higher, that had a distinct crook or curve at the top. This served as a walking stick to help climb rocky cliffs or to test the stability of muddy ground. The staff was used to guide the sheep by gently pressing against the side to steer it along a path without causing fear. The curved hook at the top allowed the shepherd to hook a sheep to pull it out of briars, bogs, or rocky crevices without hurting the sheep. The sling, or kela, was used as a long-range projectile weapon. It was also used to launch a stone to land precisely in front of a wandering animal. The loud crack of the stone hitting the dirt would startle the stray back to the flock. The shepherds would navigate through rough desert and rocky hills to find safe, slow-moving waters because sheep were frightened by rushing streams. A shepherd also carried the weak and newborns. They would carry them close to their chest inside a fold in their garment or in their bosom, is what they would say. In summation, God personally cares for, guides, and protects his people just as a shepherd tends to his flock. Even his sheep who stray, he will get their attention and guide them back. I love you guys. I hope that blesses you. Have a great day.